Welcome to the English Club. I'm Emma, and today we're going to work on one of the biggest challenges English learners face, the fear of speaking. You may know many English words. You may understand what people say. But the moment it's your turn to speak, you freeze. That silence is not always a language problem. Very often it is fear. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of sounding wrong. Fear of being judged. Because of that fear, many learners stay silent, even when they know the words and understand the conversation. They choose silence instead of taking the risk of being imperfect. But today we are going to change that, not by trying to become perfect, but by learning to speak anyway. If this is your first time here, welcome. You are in the right place. This lesson works perfectly on its own, so you don't need to watch the previous lessons before starting. And if you have been following the full 30-day journey, you already know that something has been building. Each day, you have trained a different part of your English. Your mouth has become more active. Your brain has started translating less. Your speaking reflex has become faster. And today, everything leads here. Today, we remove the fear. Before we begin, I want you to hear this clearly. You don't need perfect English to speak. Say it again in your mind. You don't need perfect English to speak. You need courage. Even fluent speakers make mistakes. They sometimes mispronounce words, forget vocabulary, or use the wrong grammar. But they keep speaking. And that is one reason they become fluent. So today, your only goal is simple. Keep speaking. Even when your English is not perfect, especially when it is not perfect. This is day 4. Let's begin. We'll start with 5 powerful sentences. These are not just sentences to repeat. They are new beliefs about yourself as an English speaker. Say each one slowly and with confidence. I might make mistakes, and that's okay. Say it again. One more time. Remember, you're giving yourself permission to be human. I don't need perfect grammar to speak. Repeat it clearly. Again. Now say it with confidence. Let this become your new belief. I speak even when I'm not sure. Repeat. Again. Pause naturally after speak. That is courage. Every mistake is making me better. Say it. Again. Now say it louder and with confidence. Because every time you make a mistake and continue speaking, you are learning. Say, I am a speaker of English. But not. I'm trying to speak English. Also not. I want to speak English. You are already a speaker. Say it. Again. Say it one more time with full confidence. Excellent. Take a breath. Those 5 sentences represent your new identity. You are not just a learner waiting until you are good enough. You are an English speaker who keeps going. Now we are going to practice something very important. I will give you a situation where you may not know the perfect sentence. And that's okay. We will start with a simple answer and then add a little more detail. Remember, simple English is not bad English. Simple English can be powerful. The goal is not to sound perfect. The goal is to communicate. Someone asks, what do you do for work? You may not know the perfect answer. That's okay. Start simple. I work in an office. Again. Now, let's add more detail. I work in an office. I handle reports and emails every day. Can you repeat that? Both answers are correct. Both are real English. The simple answer is not wrong. It is enough. And most importantly, you spoke. Someone asks, how was your weekend? Start simple. It was good. I relaxed at home. Again. Now, add a little more. It was a really good weekend. I stayed home, watched a movie, and got some rest.
Say it again.
Notice something important. The longer answer simply adds more detail. You already had the words. Someone asks, "Do you like learning English?" Start with, "Yes, I do. It's hard sometimes." Again. Now expand it. "Yes, I do. It's challenging sometimes, but I enjoy the progress." That sounds honest, natural, and real. You don't need to impress anyone. You just need to communicate. And did you notice something? Every simple answer was enough. The longer answer was simply a bonus. That is what communication looks like. Not perfect, just real. Now we will practice one of the most important speaking skills. Not stopping. In real conversations, things can go wrong. You may forget a word. You may hesitate. You may not know the exact answer. And that is when many learners become silent. But today, we practice a different response. We keep going. Say every sentence out loud. Imagine that you are in each situation. You forget a word. You are talking about your job, and suddenly you forget the word report. That's okay. You can say, "I work on the document, the summary for my manager." Again. It may not be the exact word you wanted, but the person understands you. Describing a word you forgot is a real speaking skill. And you can do it. You are not completely sure. Someone asks you a question, but you don't know the exact answer. You can say, "I'm not completely sure, but I think it's around next week." Again. Confident speakers do not always know everything. They simply speak with the information they have. You pause in the middle of a sentence. That's okay. Say, "I was going to say, I think the best option is to wait and see." A natural pause is not failure. It means you are thinking. Native speakers pause all the time. So keep going. You make a mistake and correct yourself. You might say, "Yesterday I went to the meeting. It went really well." Again. You corrected yourself and continued. Perfect. That is exactly what good speakers do. No need to stop. No need to apologize. Just correct yourself and move forward. Someone doesn't understand you. They say, "Sorry, I didn't catch that." Don't panic. Simply say, "Sorry, let me say that again. I meant that the deadline is on Friday." Repeat it again. That is not failure. That is communication. You said it again. That's all you needed to do. In every situation today, you did one important thing. You kept going. That is the real skill, not perfection. Now we're going to build your confidence with 7 powerful sentences. Say each one slowly and clearly. Don't rush. Feel every word. I'm not perfect, but I can communicate. I speak clearly, even when I make mistakes. I don't stop. I keep going. People understand me, and that's what matters. I am getting better every single day. My English is good enough to start a conversation. I speak because speaking is how I improve. Now, let's say them all again, slowly and confidently. I'm not perfect, but I can communicate. I speak clearly, even when I make mistakes. I don't stop. I keep going. People understand me, and that's what matters. I am getting better every single day. My English is good enough to start a conversation. I speak because speaking is how I improve. That is your voice. In English. Right now. This is your English today. Not later. Not when you become perfect. I want you to stop for just a moment and think about what happened in this lesson. You spoke about things you were not completely sure about. You spoke through hesitation. You spoke through mistakes. And right now you're speaking English. Maybe not perfectly, but clearly. And that is real progress. Many learners spend years waiting until their English is good enough before they start speaking. But good enough does not come from waiting. It comes from doing exactly what you did today. You showed up. You opened your mouth. You kept going. And that is not a small thing. That is everything. This is day 4. Day 1, you trained your mouth. Day 2, you trained your brain to think more naturally in English. Day 3, you trained your speaking reflex. And today, day 4, you face the fear. If you kept speaking today, even when it felt imperfect, you did something that many learners struggle to do. Most people stop the moment they make a mistake. But you didn't. You kept going. And that is the difference between staying stuck and making real progress. Now go to the comments and write. Day 4 done. If you spoke today, even with mistakes, write in the comments. Day 4 done. I want to see your progress. And remember, if you spoke today, even with mistakes, you are already moving forward. Most people are still waiting for the perfect moment. But you didn't wait. You spoke. If you want to follow the complete 30-day English speaking journey, check the playlist and schedule in the pinned comment below. Don't lose the streak you are building, because day 5 is coming. And in day 5, something important will begin to change. You will stop trying so hard to speak English. And little by little, you will simply speak. And when that happens, you will understand what these first 4 days were building toward. Thank you for learning with the English Club. Keep speaking. Keep going. Don't stop. I'll see you on day 5.